didn't know this, catches every first pitch when he is not starting. It's an incredible honor for a young man to come out here and throw a first pitch to Ricky Romero.
And on top of that, he makes everybody feel special. Tyler got to spend a few moments in the dugout with the Blue Jays. Aaron Hill taking a picture with him, Ricky chatting him up. Same with Brett Cecil. That's just a special, special moment.
Now, Blue Jays really do a great job, and young Tyler Patterson had a chance to sit in the dugout right before the start of this game and talk to some of his Blue Jay heroes. What a great evening for him. Travis Snyder is in left field. He made his first start in center field in last night's game and looked very comfortable out there. Had a couple of fine defensive plays, and he looked like somebody that they could lean on if they need a backup center fielder.
If you need to put a left-handed bat in that lineup, you can slide him over to center field like John Farrell did yesterday. How about this catch off of Ichiro as he lays out to make that catch? He also showed a pretty good arm. Brendan Ryan with a ball into right center field and flat-footed from center field. Throws a strike to second base to get Ryan trying to stretch it into a double.
Snyder's fourth outfield assist, his first from center field last night. Did a good job. Had a little tough time with the bat, but certainly contributed with his glove as part of that 14-inning win last night in the series opener. Now it's time to take a look at the Seattle Mariners lineup. The lineup's brought to you by TD Canada Trust. Banking can be this comfortable. Mariners have really been struggling. They scored 5 runs last night, but that wasn't enough for the win. Ichiro, Ryan, and Ackley, top 3 in the order. The DH is the switch hitter, Justin Smoke. Adam Kennedy, left-handed hitter, playing first tonight. Mike Carp had 3 hits in the game last night in his return to the big leagues. Ryan Franklin is in center. Kyle Seager, a young player out of the University of North Carolina, drafted in 2009, gets a start at third, and the veteran Josh Bard is behind the plate.
Tonight's starting pitcher for the Blue Jays is brought to you by Tim Hortons Original Biscuit Breakfast Sandwich. Now with hickory smoked ham, Brandon Morrow will take the mound for his 17th start of the season. Faces his former team for the first time since Toronto acquired him from Seattle for Brandon League. That was in December of 2009. He's made all but 15 of his 131 appearances over 3 years with the Mariners out of the bullpen. Came over here, became a starter, and I think an instant hit for the Blue Jays. Brandon Morrow with 110 strikeouts in 94 innings this year.
Former first-round pick of the Seattle Mariners, set to take them on for the first time in his big league career. Ichiro Suzuki will lead things off. Uncharacteristic batting average at .260 for Suzuki. First pitch fastball. Ichiro was 1 for 7 in a game last night, and his struggles in July have been monumental. Hitting just 177 this month.
He's just not getting those infield singles like he did a few years ago, where he just taps the ball to the left side of the infield and just outruns the baseball.
And there's a base hit. Got that breaking ball, just slapped it right over the mound into center field.
Nobody does it better than Ichiro Suzuki, just staying on the ball and it's like a magic wand. You just take that ball and hit it wherever it's pitched. And that time right back through the middle.
Shortstop Brendan Ryan had a nice night last night. He was a triple shy of the cycle, finished up 3 for 6. His first home run came in the second inning in last night's game. Ichiro with 23 steals in 27 attempts. Mariners pushed the offense early last night. Brendan Ryan had a steal of third in the first.
Took a lot of chances early in that game. They were bunting, they were hitting and running. They were stealing, like you said. Ryan stole third base in last night's game. But then everything shut down.
Now, Brendan Ryan himself said after the game, hey, we kind of fell asleep after that second inning. They scored 1 in the first, 4 in the second, and were shut out all the way through the 14th.
Their first 4-run inning in more than a month.
It'll be interesting to watch Brandon Morrow as he works here to this Mariner team. One thing that's been so consistent, his ability to command his fastball. Quality pitches with a very good fastball.
Yeah, it's not a fastball where he just throws it up to home plate. He really has an idea of what he's trying to do with that fastball. He's moving it in and out, up and down. And if he catches you looking for that fastball, he's got that devastating breaking ball that he can just wipe you out, strike you out easily. But you're right, fastball command, especially early in the count, has been the key for him over his last 6 starts.
Had 6 strikeouts against the Yankees in his most recent outing on Friday night. Upstairs. 2 balls and a strike, the number 2 hitter. As Pat mentioned, Brandon Morrow has 110 strikeouts. And it's never been where he goes out to the mound thinking that he's going to punch out 10 or 12 a game. It's just a product of good command and overpowering stuff. Balls behind Ryan, 3-1.
Good stuff and a good fastball. And I think that's where everything is built off of with Brandon Morrow. As he gets older, as he gets a little bit more accustomed to pitching, you're going to start seeing him throwing more first pitch breaking ball strikes.
There's a good fastball at 96. We mentioned Morrow with 110 strikeouts. He's 7 out of the top 10 in the American League, and he missed 3 starts. Full count. There goes Ichiro. Ball is outside. First 2 reach here in the first. Leadoff single and a walk. So the number 3 hitter, Dustin Ackley, starts at second base again tonight. He started there last night, moved to first base late in the ball game. He was 2 for 7 last night. Molina's not going to wait any longer. He's going to coax Molina back into the strike zone.
Having trouble getting his breaking ball over for strikes. Nothing wrong with that fastball. Missed a couple of times, 3 times in fact, against Brendan Ryan with that breaking ball. So now let's try something else.
So Molina delivers his message, and he's back behind the plate. Jose's making his 30th start here tonight.
Catchers have to be part pitching coach, part psychologist. Pick up on a few things that pitcher might be doing to help him get back into that strike zone.
Just missed the outside corner. Dustin Ackley, just 23 years old. Came out of the 2009 June free agent draft. He was the 2nd player overall. Late on that fastball.
We were talking today, and I said, wow, he was the 2nd player chosen overall. Who was first?
Yeah, and you had just forgotten that was Steven Strasburg. Out of San Diego State. Strasburg's on the mend.
Yep.
He's throwing for the Nationals in rehab, coming back from Tommy John surgery that he underwent in September. 2 balls and a strike. 3-1. Morrow's having a tough time getting zeroed in here tonight. Not unusual for starters to come out and battle their control early on. Remember, they only get to work once every 5 days, and they've got a lot of pent-up energy. Back-to-back walks. The bases are loaded. Nobody out.
Watching him now here in the first inning, it really looks like he's rushing it. Brandon Morrow is really good when he stays over that rubber, that pitching rubber, as long as possible. When you start rushing it to try and make the adjustment, that's when the lower half is out in front and your arm just can't catch up.
And now he'll deal with the DH Justin Smoak. Smoak is a switch hitter, and he's one of the few Mariners that's faced Morrow. He did it back in May a year ago when he was with the Texas Rangers. He went 2 for 2 against Brandon Morrow. That was before he was traded to Seattle.
So he could go around and give a little scouting report to the rest of his mates on what Morrow faces. You know, if he throws where he needs to throw the ball, scouting reports don't mean anything. You can tell him where he's got a good fastball. We all know that. Good pitch there. He's got a good breaking ball. We all know that. If he's throwing the ball where he needs to, it doesn't matter.
He could tell you going to go fastball away, and there's not much you can do about it. If he locates, it's got great movement. It's hard, and if he gets it in the spots, he'll get you out.
It's deceptive too. You watch some of the swings that are taken off of Brandon Morrow. We saw the Yankees, who pride themselves in taking a lot of pitches, not striking out a lot, really working the count. They had some funny swings against Brandon Morrow his last time out.
Mark Teixeira struck out in the 6th on a wicked slider. He just waved that. 1-2 to Ackley. Excuse me, to Smoke. He strikes him out. Slider down and in. Does the trip, first out of the inning.
That's that devastating breaking ball that we were talking about. Tough on lefties when you throw it on the inner half and then it gets underneath the bat. That's where you have to throw it to get the strikeout.
The veteran Adam Kennedy playing first base tonight. Left-handed hitter, did not start in the game last night. Eric Wedge went with a right-handed hitting lineup. Tonight it's the opposite. We mentioned Morrow's on a hot streak. He has won 4 straight in his last 6 starts. And the biggest thing has been his ability to pitch. And now he's going to have to pitch his way out of this inning. He's already 1/3 of the way out of it. Got the strikeout of Smoke.
Lost to Boston on June the 11th. That was right here at Rogers Center. Lasted just 4 1/3 innings. Got hit around 9 earned runs. Made the adjustment. Changed the grip on his changeup. More of a split change now. Went to Cincinnati and started a nice little streak. He beat the Reds in pitching into the 7th inning with shutout baseball, and then finished it off by beating New York on Friday.
1-1 popped up right out in front of the plate. Molina calls for it and makes the catch. Infield fly was in order. 2 outs. He can see the clearing from here. Yeah. Almost out of the woods.
Just have to keep making pitches, and that's what he did. First against Smoke, and then Kennedy right in on his hands to get that 2nd out.
Mike CARP, we mentioned CARP last night, had a big night at the plate in his return to the big leagues. CARP was the DH and had a 3-hit night, 3 for 6 with a pair of doubles. CARP was up earlier in the season, hit just 200, but then went back down in June and got his stroke back. Bases loaded. 2 outs. There's that slider. Boy, you get that pitch down and into a left-hander. It's 90 miles an hour. It's not like it's a slow breaking ball by any means.
Tough for a batter to pick up on that. With that hard breaking ball. Combine that with that fastball, you've got to really pick it up. And you've got to pick it up early.
Came right back with it and threw it in a great spot. 1-2.
You've got to get it underneath the bat, or a left-handed hitter is going to hit that a long way. That is in their power zone, down and in.
Big AAA numbers for Mike Carpy at 343 at Tacoma. 1-2. 2 outs. Lays off that breaking ball. Ichiro led it off with a single, then back-to-back walks to Brendan Ryan and Dustin Ackley. 2 outs. Full count. Morrow has thrown 25 pitches in the opening frame.
That has been his problem. His last couple of starts, high pitch counts in the first couple of innings before he finds it. And then from then on, it's a breeze for him. But those first couple of innings, they've run that pitch count up.
Runners will be off on the pitch. There they go. Line drive to the shortstop. The infield Umpire at second calls him out. Bill Cuzzy held up his right hand. Escobar catches the line drive. Morrow strands the bases loaded. Bases loaded, nobody out. Strikeout, pop-up, line drive. Blue Jays keep the Mariners off the scoreboard in the first. Here's a look at their lineup. Yunel Escobar's average up to 304. He's reached base in 23 straight games. Eric Thames, the rookie. Jose Bautista, second night at the DH spot. Lynn Encarnacion and Travis Snyder, middle of the order. Darren Hill, Rajay Davis starts tonight. He took the game over last night. Late in the ball game, Jose Molina behind the plate. They're set to take on Jason Vargas.
He beat San Diego on July the 1st with a 6-hitter, but has lost his last 2 starts in shutout defeats. Hasn't been able to score any runs when he's on the mound. He hasn't pitched poorly. Gave up 5 runs, 3 homers in 6 innings. That was a 5-0 loss to the Texas Rangers in his last start.
Making his 3rd career start against the Blue Jays. First time he has started against them here at Rogers Center. Ball and a strike to Escobar.
Blue Jays saw Vargas out in Seattle earlier this year. Gave up just a run, struck out 7 pitching into the 7th inning. Blue Jays exploded late in that game to win it.
We mentioned Escobar reaching base in 23 straight games. Little flare into center field. Gutierrez has good speed and he makes the catch. 1 up.
Don't hit it to him. He hasn't made an error this season. He is a Gold Glove center fielder for the Seattle Mariners. The rest of the defense, he hasn't made an error in 242 consecutive games. As Franklin Gutierrez, he'll be flanked by Mike Carp and Ichiro Suzuki. Brendan Ryan, Dustin Ackley up the middle. Kyle Seager with his 7th start at 3rd base, and Adam Kennedy with his 14th. That's the corner infield for Seattle tonight.
Eric Thames, high fly ball to left field. Mike Carp makes the catch. There are 2 outs here in the first. So Jose Bautista will walk to the plate. Certainly gets the appropriate recognition here at Rogers Center. 332, 31 homers, 66 driven in.
Thought he looked okay last night. You know, for his first game back and the tenderness in that right ankle. We were watching him before yesterday's game go through a series of drills in the outfield, the stopping and the starting and the cutting and the back and forth, and he looked very tentative on his ankle.
He had to rip at that outside pitch. He's behind Vargas 0-2.
But then in the game, it seemed like everything was fine.
Yeah, you know what? You get your ankle taped. It's sore to begin with, and then that tape's very tight. Sometimes you need to play the game to loosen it up a little bit.
And I think the adrenaline of the game takes your mind off of the soreness.
Down and away. 28-year-old Jason Vargas making his 20th start of the season. Drafted originally by the Florida Marlins. He was traded by the Marlins to the New York Mets for Henry Owens and Matt Lindstrom back in '06. Went to the Mets for a while. Interesting college career. Started at LSU, went back to junior college, and ended up at Long Beach State.
Pitching behind Jared Weaver. Weaver was the #1. Vargas was the #2 on that team. Signed by the Marlins, you mentioned, the second-round draft pick coming out of college.
Popped out of play. Vargas also was a position player at .354 with 5 home runs. Swung the bat as a DH.
Played some first base and pitched at LSU also. He was just a freshman.
One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. That one hurt. Right in on his hands, and I got a fistful of bees there.
That's right on the thumb. Hitters, that top hand, if you don't hold the bat correctly and you get jammed a little bit, that bat can really jam back into your thumb. And watch Jose right after he swings it.
Pops this one up behind home plate. Josh Bard gives it a look. It's back over the screen. And a lot of players will use that rubber pad on that top hand. They call it a game saver. Protects you from getting that thumb bruised. Reaches for that off-speed pitch and hits the lazy fly ball into center. Both teams have a scoreless first inning. Jason Vargas a 1-2-3 first. It's scoreless after 1 here at Rogers Center.
Report brought to you by Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners. He has really been spotting his fastball, which is always a good sign. 2 as good as 1. 2 being his breaking ball, I think, is as good as his fastball. It's a very devastating pitch, and I think he is ready to take the next step in his evolution as a pitcher and take that next step to be one of the elite pitchers in the American League. That's how much we think of his stuff.
I think hitters will tell you the same thing. He's overpowered. Just a matter of repeating his delivery and developing some consistency. Franklin Gutierrez, the center fielder, 0 for 5 in the game last night. Late on a fastball. What we've seen from Morrow over the last 6 starts, a very smooth, rhythmic delivery. And the ball just jumps out of his hands, and he's had much better command because of that.
Talks about that a lot, about being in rhythm and being in sync with his body. And that will help him throw quality pitches. John Farrell was telling us today that that's the most important thing that he has seen. And again, it's not just fastballs that he throws over the middle of the plate. He has been able to throw it inside and outside, up and down.
And there's a ball that's right out over the middle of the plate, but it's 96, and it's tough to square up.
I think out of anybody on this pitching staff, he's the guy who can get away with mistakes because his stuff is so good.
Ball inside, and Snyder makes the play. You could see there was a mistake, if you want to qualify it as a mistake, because it was down and away. That was the target, and that ball missed all the way across the plate.
Yeah, they wanted it down and away, but it was up and in. Missed the spot, but again, his stuff is just too good. He just hammers it inside. You see where Molina is set up, and he runs it back and up and in. And Gutierrez cannot extend through it.
Kyle Seager, the third baseman, hitting 8th, goes after the first pitch and fouls it back. Seager's another product of the 2009 draft. He was a third-round pick of the Mariners. Seager and Dustin Ackley, the second baseman, were teammates in college at North Carolina University. Seager played second base at North Carolina, and Ackley played first. They went to the College World Series.
He had a couple other players on that team make it to professional baseball and ultimately to the big leagues.
Alex White was a 15th pick overall. He was a pitcher on that team. He's got some tendon issues in his fingers, but he's been up with the Cleveland Indians. It's a pretty impressive draft, and it's just 2 years ago. When you look back to the 2009 draft, we've already mentioned Steven Strasburg was the first overall pick. We saw Mike Minor and Mike Leake during interleague play. Minor for the Braves, Leake for the Reds. They were 7th and 8th in the draft, both first rounders. That slider is tough on lefties. Second strikeout of the night for Brandon Morrow.
Well, we know what he can do against righties. Right-handers hitting 209 with just a home run against Brandon Morrow, but when he can spot that breaking ball like that against the lefties, he can get them out just as easy. Pretty impressive pitch there.
Catcher is Josh Bart. Last night Miguel Olivo was behind the plate. Bart came to camp as a non-roster invitee. Played last season with Seattle. Finished up with 39 games. Split the time between AAA and the big leagues. He's been at Cleveland. That's where he started. He also played in Boston. He was in Boston just for 7 games. Then he went out to San Diego. Played a year in Washington 2009, and now he's with the Mariners.
Found out that they needed a catcher for Tim Wakefield, and they sent him over to San Diego for backup catcher who can catch him. The name escapes me.
Mirabelli.
Thank you very much.
And Mirabelli was with the Red Sox, and remember they had a big deal where they flew him in and took a police escort from the airport to the ballpark. Mirabelli got changed in the police car, rushed in and caught Wakefield.
Only in baseball, right?
Yep. Full count, 2 outs. Top of the second inning of a scoreless ball game. Blue Jays won a marathon last night in 14 innings, 6-5. Another walk. A 2-yard walk. That's the 3rd walk already tonight issued by Brandon Morrow. Ichiro Suzuki had a base hit his first time up. Got a breaking ball out over the plate. Just slapped it right back over the mound into center.
You see the numbers for Suzuki. Not like Ichiro of the past. His career batting average coming into this game, .331. Nearly 70 points below his big league average.
Well, he hit .210 in May and .177 so far in the month of July. That'll drag your batting average down.
Just his third hit in his last 7 games with that single that you were talking about in the first inning.
Hits this one on the ground. Escobar will go to the bag and beat Bard to second. Morrow has a 2-out walk, but nothing more. Adam Lind will lead things off when we come back to Rogers Center. Last night in his first at bat, he went deep against Michael Pineda. A 2-run shot, his 17th. Can he do it again? The Blue Jays have announced that the roof at Rogers Center will be closed as an effort to keep it cool day. Temperature is supposed to be in the low 40s here tomorrow. It's going to be a hot day, so they're going to keep the roof closed, try to keep the fans as comfortable as possible. Kids 14 and under run the bases after the game. Call the Blue Jays for tickets at 416-341-1234. Log on to BlueJays.com or stop by most Rogers Plus locations. Keep it cool day tomorrow afternoon. Game starts at 12:37 p.m. Adam Lind takes the first pitch off the plate outside. Two-0. You mentioned Lind hit his 17th home run in the first inning. That erased an early 1-0 deficit. Then the Mariners bounced right back and scored 4 in the top of the second. And then both clubs were done for quite a while. Blue Jays scored 3 in the 7th to tie it up. And then it was a scoreless game into the 14th.
How about the job of the bullpen in last night's ball game, shutting out the Mariners after Brett Cecil left?
Everybody in the bullpen except Frank Francisco. Camp, Roush, Frazier, Dotel, Zebchinski, and Jansen. Casey Jansen in his first game back from the minors picked up the win. Not from the minors, from his rehab start. He went down there with a bad elbow, rehabbed, and looked sharp. Good to have him back. He's an important part of this bullpen.
Yep, had a good fastball in last night's game. Also had a good cutter and a good slider. They tried not to use him last night. They wanted to give him a little bit of a break. He had thrown on Saturday and Sunday down in the minor leagues, but hey, they needed him and he got the W.
There's a sinking line drive into right that bounces in front of Ichiro, and he keeps it from going past him. First hit of the ball game for the Blue Jays. Lind starts out the second.
And it could have been a lot worse if not for the good play by Suzuki in right field. This ball has some funny spin on it. As Lind hits it off the end of the bat, watch the play by the Gold Glover. It spins on him and he stabs at it and catches it and keeps it in front to hold Lind to a single.
The ball could have skipped by him and really been interesting. Edwin Encarnacion makes an inside strike. Encarnacion was the third baseman in last night's game. He was 1 for 4 with a walk. She had 2 walks. Walked in the 13th as well. Then he was lifted for the pinch runner, Mike McCoy. But the Blue Jays would eventually strand 2 in the 13th. Well, you can see what Vargas is trying to do to Encarnacion. He doesn't want him to extend his arms out over the plate.
Tries to throw the slider in there. Just watch Josh Bart, the catcher for the Seattle Mariners, how he is going to work Encarnacion.
Base hit left field. Lynn thinking about going to third, and he's trying it right in the face of the outfield, and he makes it. What a job of base running by Adam Lynn. He had his eye on Mike CARP the whole way and just beat the throw.
Well, a couple of things that you have to key on if you're the base runner. On a ball that is hit, is the outfielder going away from the play? And that's what Mike CARP looked like. The ball was smoked by Encarnacion down the left field line. And as CARP went to go get the ball, he's backtracking. That play is right in front of Adam Lynn, so he can read that play very easily. And when CARP, the left fielder, gave ground to cut the ball off, it leaves him a very tough position to throw the ball.
Travis Snider had a rough night last night. Snider was 0 for 6 with 4 strikeouts. He has a chance to cash in early. First and third, nobody out.
Just couldn't lay off that breaking ball in last night's game. They kept feeding it to him, and he kept swinging at it. First 2 pitches here tonight, though, looks more like the Travis Snider we saw since his recall from the minors.
333 average since coming up back on the 4th of July. It's a good take. Ball was away from him. He had a good look at it.
2-0, you are sitting on pitch and location. He is a very good low ball hitter, likes the ball inside. And if they don't throw it to where you want to, let it go.
Outside. Travis Snider has hit 9 doubles in July. Ties him for the most in the American League. Overall, he has 13 on the season. Boy, he's come back, played the role of a doubles machine. Ball is driven into center field, and that'll be deep enough to score Lynn. He tags at third. The throw will be into second base, and the Blue Jays have taken a 1-0 lead. Travis Snider can thank Adam Lynn for that RBI.
Good base running by Lynn to get over to third base on the single to left field, but then very good patience at the plate by Snider. As Vargas tried to get him to swing early in the count on breaking balls away, he took it and got a pitch that he liked and hit it in the center field to drive in his 25th run of the season.
1 out. Aaron Hill. Ball on the strike. Talk about the Mariners struggling. It's just been a rough stretch for Eric Wedge's ball club. Looked like they were going to snap out of it last night, but fell back into the same old pattern. Couldn't come up with any key hits. Inside, Blue Jays having good at bats against Vargas early on.
Seeing him, they're staying back, keeping that weight back. Mariners have some pitchers for you now. They will stay in every game, I think, with that good pitching that they have.
There goes Encarnacion. The throw from Bard. Not in time. Pretty good throw just to the shortstop side of second, but Encarnacion snuck a hand in there.
Josh Bard, 2 for 7 thrown out. Base stealers this year. It's like a changeup And he unloads quickly and accurately. Concentrate on where Ackley tags Encarnacion. It's on the wrist, and that allows that hand to get into the bag.
Now the hand was already on the bag when Ackley made the tag on the left wrist of Encarnacion. His third steal of the season. Runner in scoring position for Aaron Hill. Full count. One down here in the second. Travis Snyder has given the Blue Jays the lead with a sac fly to center. Snyder's 25th ribby of the season. Hill takes the walk.
As Aaron Hill makes his way down to first base, let's take a look at the scouting report for Jason Vargas, the starter for the Seattle Mariners. He's got solid mechanics, and that's why he has good command. Every pitch is going to be around the plate. He's got 4 pitches to choose from, the fastball, slider, and the curveball, but I think his go-to pitch and his best pitch might be his changeup. Then pitch to contact, that's what you will get from Vargas. Not a lot of strikeouts. Just 36 walks in his 127 innings this year, so he'll be around the plate.
Here's the hero of last night's game, Rajai Davis. 3 steals since after coming into the game as a pinch runner in the ninth. He stole second and third in the 14th. John McDonald with the sacrifice fly, the game winner, scores Davis in the 14th. First and second, 1 out. One thing that has caused Davis problems just chasing those borderline pitches. You can see he's hit well against Seattle. Rajai spent time with the Oakland Athletics. He is 0 for 7 against Jason Vargas.
So he knows all about this Mariner pitching staff.
Hits a liner to second, and Encarnacion gets back just in time. Encarnacion did a good job of freezing on that line drive, and Ackley's toss to second was late.
Your first sense is, as a base runner, when you see a line drive like that off the bat of your teammate, you want to try and score a run for him. But you've got to read it off the bat. Is it high enough to get to the outfield? Where are the infield playing? Where is that ball? That one right at the second baseman. Encarnacion heads up, stays out of the double play.
Jose Molina looks at that first pitch changeup. Two on, 2 outs. Blue Jays lead it 1-0. Vargas made some good pitches just off the inside edge. Well, Molina's done a great job as a backup player. His last 9 games hitting nearly 360.
And he has come up with some big hits also. Big 2-out hits for the Blue Jays to drive in some runs. Hitting nearly 350 with runners in scoring position. That's hard enough to do when you're playing every day.
He's been a great mentor for J.P. Arancibia and an assistant pitching coach to Bruce Walton and Pat Henkin. Encarnacion takes off for third. No throw. Encarnacion looked at Vargas, and Vargas never looked them back. 2 steals in the inning for Edwin.
Brandon Bryan, the shortstop for the Mariners, was trying to jockey behind him, but then he's got to get back to his position. And he picked a good pitch to run on, a changeup that was down. No chance to get Encarnacion. He has his second stolen base of the inning.
3-1 to Molina. Bounced over the head of Encarnacion. Escobar is on deck. Unell's been a hot hitter. Molina would love to deliver here with 2 outs to get Escobar to the plate. He takes the walk. Bases loaded. Escobar will bat with 2 outs. Two walks in the inning. Carl Willis, the veteran pitching coach, out to talk to Jason Vargas.
Patience by the Blue Jay hitters against Vargas. Again, he doesn't walk many people, doesn't strike out many people. He's a pitch to contact type of player. More balls than strikes so far in this game. Jay is showing some patience, laying off those borderline pitches.
15 pitches in a 1-2-3 first inning, and Blue Jays have done a good job working over Vargas. Here in the second, 29 pitches. Carl Willis. Last minute instructions to the battery. This big point of the ball game early on. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Remember, the Mariners had the bases loaded and nobody out in the first inning, and Brandon Morrow got out of it. Kept them off the scoreboard. First pitch is crucial.
They want strike 1, so if it's in there, take a shot at it.
Up and away.
That's the one thing that Escobar could really do. He could really work that pitcher. There are his numbers with the bases loaded. He leads all major league shortstops in walks with 42 this year.
He's got a good eye. Now he can expand that zone just a bit.
Well, he can be a little bit more choosy.
Well, too, you got a left-handed batter on deck, and you want Escobar swinging in this situation. Way outside, it's 3-0. Now you make him take. Vargas has already walked 2 in this inning. Bases are loaded, 2 outs.
You know, he's so good at recognizing pitches. He could take 2 pitches, I think. Really make Vargas work for it.
Bases loaded, walk. 43rd walk taken by Escobar. That'll force in a run. Escobar picks up an RBI. The Blue Jays lead it 2-0. 3rd walk of the inning. 24 straight games now that Escobar has reached base. Eric Thames flied to left his first time up. Base hit, fair ball down the left field line. Hill's in to score. Here comes Molina right behind him. And the ball has been touched by a fan, and Escobar will have to go back to 3rd. That cost Thames an RBI. And he's a Blue Jay fan.
He's got the Blue Jay gear on. He's got the Joe Carter jersey. Looked like he took his hat off and tried to catch the ball. Escobar's got to go back to 3rd base now. Thames, 357, 2 outs and runners in scoring position, and picks up the hit. Keeps it fair down the left field line. He'll be credited with 2 RBIs, but it could have been 3. Escobar right behind Molina, and he's going to have to leave.
He cost Thames an RBI. And he obviously is a great Blue Jay fan, but he just got a little too excited. He's got to make sure he checks the uni of the team that's hitting. When the guys in white hit one down there, let it go. So Bautista will be given the intentional pass. He's the 9th man to bat in this inning. Adam Lynn started things off with a base hit. The Blue Jays played a 14-inning game last night. If they can get in the Mariners bullpen tonight, Mariners have to pitch 8 innings. There's a fly ball left field. CARP back at the wall, at the track. Ball is caught by Mike CARP. As Lynn made a bid for a grand slam, Mike CARP, the left fielder, stayed with it and makes the catch. But the Blue Jays break out on top. They score 4 runs, but Adam Lynn thought he had gone deep with the bases loaded. Ball is carrying deep to left. He thinks it's got a chance, and he was right up against the wall, but it's caught. 4-0 Jays after 2. First, he's able to get out of it. 1 strikeout of Justin Smoke in the first, and then Kyle Seager in the second. Same pitch, down and in slider. A couple of big strikeouts early.
That's his wipeout pitch, the pitch that he can use for strikeouts to the lefties. Lefties hitting 248, righties just 209 against Morrow. 2 big strikeouts in big situations.
And now he has been staked to a 4-0 lead. Interesting how this game has changed complexion. The Mariners had the great opportunity in the first.
It all starts on the mound, doesn't it? I mean, when you break it all down about baseball, you're only as good as your starting pitcher, I think. If he can work out of a tough jam like Morrow did in the first inning, you've got a chance. Jason Vargas gave up the big base hit to Thames.
You have a whole bunch of Mariner fans who will say, well, wait a minute, we've got good starting pitching. 4 of the top 24 in ERA are Seattle Mariners.
Pretty good numbers.
Good argument for that one-dimensional team. It's got to score something, and the Mariners haven't been able to do that.
You can figure out ways to score. There's been teams over the years in baseball that have been built on pitching and defense, and they have won championships that way. They figure out ways just to score runs. But the Mariners, it's been this all pitch and no hit so far. ERA second in the American League. Opponent's batting average second in the AL rank, but then towards the bottom, and average wise in the bottom, hitting. So you have to figure out ways to score runs. You've got to bunt more, you've got to hit and run more.
Slider gets Ryan. That's the 3rd strikeout. We showed you that slider. What a devastating strikeout pitch it is, and it doesn't make any difference. Lefty, righty, it's all the same.
It's late, and it looks like a fastball coming in. Throws it right out of the same arm slot, and it's tight. It's a tight spinning breaking ball, so it looks like a fastball. And then it just goes down.
There's a good fastball right at the knees. Looks like Morrow's starting to get zeroed in. Dustin Ackley, he walked his first time up. Ball on the strike. I'm a big proponent of that argument you're making. pitching and defense will keep you in a lot of games. But if you look at the leaders in ERA in American League, Oakland 3.13 ERA, Seattle 3.28 ERA. They're third and fourth in the AL West. You got to have some offense.
Yes. I'm not saying you can just go out there with 4 Cy Young Award winners and you're going to win the World Championship.
Interesting, the top 3 teams in ERA in the American League are all American League West teams. Los Angeles, Seattle, Oakland. But then again, they don't have to pitch against the beasts from the East.
Right. You don't have that Yankee lineup or the Red Sox lineup that you have to deal with.
Ball is popped up on the infield. Second baseman Aaron Hill is there. 2 outs.
You do have to deal with Texas's lineup, though, and that's a pretty deep lineup.
Texas is second in the American League in hitting to the Boston Red Sox, 272. And right now, is Texas the hottest team in the world or what? They've won 12 straight. Eric Wedge got a first-hand look at the Texas Rangers. They were just swept at the hands of the Rangers. But during that streak, Texas has won 12 games in a row. They've hit 321 and hit 19 home runs. I've got more good news for you. We're going to Texas on Friday
for 3 big games. That's right, and it's smoking hot down there. The thing that has impressed me about the Texas Rangers is their pitching. We all know about the great hitting, but their pitching is really starting to come around.
Just didn't smoke. Ball in the strike. They're pitching during that 12-game win streak. 192 ERA with a 190 opponent's batting average, and they're averaging 14.7 pitches per inning. They're coming at it. Bouncing ball. Encarnacion behind second. Good play. Brandon Morrow has found the groove. His defense has played well behind him. Middle of the third, Blue Jays lead it 4-0. Edwin Encarnacion has singled and scored already tonight. Travis Snyder a sac fly. Aaron Hill has scored as well. Another home run against the left-hander David Price starting for Tampa Bay, and Curtis Granderson has turned his career around since joining the Yankees. Edwin Encarnacion, fair ball down the left side. That'll go all the way to the corner. Encarnacion is headed for second. Here's the throw to second base. Not in time. Good throw from Mike CARP, but it was late. Encarnacion picks up his 22nd double.
Edwin Encarnacion almost undressed Kyle Seager, the third baseman. He hit that ball so hard by it. Watch this. Full extension and a rocket right by him. Look how late he was in trying to get to that ball. It was on him like that. CARP does a good job of digging it out of the corner, making an accurate throw, but Edwin very quickly gets down there with another double.
22 leads the team. Travis Snider had a sac fly his first time up. Encarnacion has really been rough on his pants tonight. He had 2 steals in the second inning, and now he had to slide to beat that throw. That's a good sign. He got dirt all over his body.
Yeah. It's a good sign that you've done something. And he certainly has done that tonight. A couple of steals and a couple of hits. And he's got Vargas. He's got his attention now. He stole third base the last time that Snider was at the plate.
Snider has an idea what he wants to do. He's been very patient. Looks like he's looking for something he can pull to at least move Encarnacion from second to third. He's off that pitch. Boy, what a different night it is for him. He's looking at the ball, tracking the ball very well. Last night looked like he was swinging before he picked up the baseball.
Front shoulder staying in tonight. And that keeps that head in there also. Last night everything was flying open. Probably thinking he has to start a little early against Pineda, the way he throws.
There's that ball pulled to the right side, but this one's foul. You know how hard it is for a young guy like Travis Snider to think about the team? He's already been demoted once because he got off to a slow start. But you can truly see that he's got the team in mind right now in this at-bat. Good job, and it gets a base hit. It's going to pick up an RBI. Encarnacion around third. Here's the throw. It's cut off. What an at-bat for Travis Snider. Thinking about getting a pitch he could hit to the right side of the diamond. He ends up with an RBI single. It's 5-0 Blue Jays.
Very patient at the plate, and you're going to score a lot of points with your manager when you give yourself up and have these types of at-bats. Good at-bat. As Vargas tried to go away, and Travis got the head out there just a little bit quicker to pull the ball. And he was rewarded with an RBI single.
Second ribby of the night for Snider. Hill drives it to left field. Mike CARP on the run, dives and makes the catch. He takes one away from Aaron Hill. That's a tough play for a left field. That ball was sinking away from him as Hill hit a line drive right to left.
He's playing a deep left field. I don't know if it's because he's not familiar with the surroundings here or it's easier to come in. This time he will lay out and take away a hit from Aaron Hill. CARP with a nice play in left for Seattle.
Rajai Davis. Davis lined to second his first time up. Takes a strike. Blue Jays with 5 runs on 5 hits. They've been aided by 4 Vargas walks, 1 intentional. Been a tough stretch for Eric Wedge and the Mariners. They've lost 10 straight games. There goes Snider, and Vargas goes to first to throw to second, and Snider's tagged out. Travis going on the first move of Vargas, and Vargas was coming to first.
Base runners will get out there, and if you're not real sure of the move of the pitcher, especially the left-hander, you're going to go on first mover. You can see him leaning on his right foot, and he goes on the first movement. Vargas sensed that, I believe, and it's the pickoff.
So Davis has a 2-1 count now with 2 outs. Blue Jays with a run tacked on here in the third. 2-2. Change-up cute off the end of the bat.
I was standing around the cage today when Rajai Davis was hitting, and Dwayne Murphy kept telling him, keep it short, keep it short. It feels like Rajai gets in trouble when his swing gets a little bit too long. And if you shorten up your swing and use the whole field, that's where your success is going to come.
What are the subtle benefits of getting a short stroke as far as allowing you a little bit more time, possibly?
Yeah, you can wait just a little bit longer on the pitch. You can see it for just a little bit longer. You can just react to the pitch on the inside part of the plate, and that'll really shorten up your swing, or you're going to get jammed.
Full count.
But if you stay short, you can watch the ball, you can track it a little bit easier.
How's that ball? Looks like it got a piece of the catcher and the umpire. Lance Barrett's behind the plate tonight. Got him square on the mask. Also might have got a piece of Josh Bart. 2 outs here in the third inning. Blue Jays have added a run. Travis Snyder with an RBI single. Davis takes the walk, comes with 2 outs. That's the 5th walk already tonight issued by Vargas.
That's not his game. He came into this game with just 36 walks all season long in 127 innings, and you're just asking for trouble when you're walking players like Rajai Davis. He is not going to be sitting around at first base very long.
Davis with 3 steals in the game last night. Jose Molina takes the first pitch strike. At the start of play tonight, Davis was tied for second. Brett Gardner has 29 steals. Gardner with the Yankees leads the American League.
Davis did something rare in last night's game, entering in the 9th inning and coming up with 3 stolen bases. And he's been doing it over the last 3 seasons. Nobody has more stolen bases than Rajai Davis. 119. He had a season of 41 and 50 with Oakland. And then 28 he has accumulated here.
Interesting when you look at that list of the stolen base leaders in the last 3 seasons. They all reside in American League East now. Oh, how things have changed.
The East was always pounded. Home runs. Slug your way to the top. Now everybody has that leadoff table setter.
Jacoby Ellsbury got things started a couple of years ago when he had a 70 steal year for the Red Sox. Carl Crawford at Tampa Bay, always up there among the leaders.
DJ Upton. Rajai Davis having some trouble reading Jason Vargas's move as he is leaning back to the bag.
Well, that was an intentional move. That was a one-way lead. He was coming back to first no matter what Vargas did. He just wanted to see what it was going to look like.
Just forcing him to make a throw over to first base.
Drawing that throw. Let me see what you got. Molina's out in front of that pitch and hits it into the seats. Rajai Davis worked with Ricky Henderson. Obviously, fans that have been following the Blue Jays know the great Ricky Henderson played here during the World Series years. Established himself with the Oakland Athletics and came to work with Rajai Davis in spring training. There he goes. He got a great jump. Molina singles into right field. No reason to stop if you're Davis. Ichiro has a strong arm, but it's offline. With 2 outs, give a line drive and keep going. No reason to hesitate. If he catches it, it's going to be out anyway. Just keep trucking over to third.
Molina, keep doing what you're doing. 2 times up, 2 times on base. This time, the inside-out swing to right field as he slashes it to right field, and he's taking off on the pitch. And you're right, 2 outs, line drive, just keep on coming.
Looked back over his shoulder and saw that Ichiro's throw was offline. So Carl Willis is out to the mound for a second time this evening, and with that, the bullpen will begin to get loose down in right field. Blue Jays now with 6 hits against Vargas, but it's been more the lack of command that's hurt him.
Yeah, the walks. He walked 4 batters in that second inning, and 2 of them came around to score.
Jamie Wright took the loss in last night's game. He pitched an inning and a third. Breaking ball just off the inside corner. You can see the home plate umpires are getting the business from the Mariners dugout. He turned and said it's inside. There's a fly ball driven deep to right field. Gutierrez on the run at the track. Makes the catch. Gold Glover makes a Gold Glove play and slams into the wall in right center. A couple of times tonight, the Blue Jays have sent the Mariners outfielders to the wall. They've made fine catches to end the inning. Eric Wedge talking to Jason Vargas, and I think Vargas has been taken out of this ball game, but Wedge looked like he had a message that he wanted delivered to Jason Vargas. Tough stretch for the Seattle Mariners, 10-game losing streak. They've hit under 200. They've only scored 16 runs. Look at the run differential. They've been outscored by 31 runs, and they have 77 strikeouts during that stretch.
10 games they've been outscored by 31 runs, closing in on their longest losing streak since 2008 when they lost 12 in a row. And when you watch and these types of times that they are going through, it just seems like everything you do turns out bad. They jumped out to a big lead yesterday, but then just couldn't hold on to win it.
Adam Kennedy slaps it into left field. A leadoff base hit here in the fourth. But you're right. You seem like, well, we scored some runs. We scored 4 in the second. We're going to win this game, and then just kind of shut it down.
shut it down, but there was also some pickoff plays that cost them a couple of times in the ball game.
Sean Figgins got picked off to end the 8th inning when it looked like the Mariners had a chance to score with 2 outs. And then Mike CARP hit a leadoff double, and he was doubled off second or picked off second on a bunt attempt.
And there's things like that that happen within the game that just, you know, when you add it all up, it comes back to haunt you in a 1-run game.
Frustrating time, and as a manager, all you can do is continue to juggle your lineup, maybe force the offense from time to time. Move some runners. Ball is driven to left field. Travis Snyder checks out the fence, right up against the wall, makes the catch. Last night in the 8th inning, with the game tied 5-5, Mariners had runners at first and third. Sean Kemp into the game, and Sean Figgins gets picked off.
They had a sense that they might try the double steal. Here's the big one right here. After the leadoff double, they try to bunt, but Mike CARP is off the bag a little bit. They tag him out, continue the inning. The whole play set up by John McDonald being at second base on the bunt attempt.
That was in the 11th after a leadoff double. When you get a leadoff double in extra innings, you think you're going to win the ball game, but you can't have base running mistakes. Franklin Gutierrez, the center fielder.
And when you have mistakes, when you're going through times like this, I've played on teams like that, they just get magnified and they end up being big plays. You're winning, you get picked off at second base, you end up coming back and win the game. Everybody forgets about it.
Yeah. And if you're scored 7-8 runs a game, nobody even thinks about it. You got picked off. That didn't count. John McDonald delivered last night. He came into the ball game late in the game and picked up the sac fly. Gutierrez chases that slider. He strikes out. That's 4 for Brandon Morrow now.
He made quick work of Franklin Gutierrez very quickly. His 4th strikeout of the night.
Brandon Morrow is among the leaders in the last 2 seasons. Strikeouts per 9 innings. He leads the American League. And look at the list of pitchers he's ahead of: Lester, Liriano, Verlander, and Weaver. Exclusive company, and Morrow leads the pack. And now, what a difference in the rhythm and the tempo of his delivery. First inning, he was all over the place. Just too much adrenaline, but now he's backed off a bit.
Get a little bit of a sweat going. Get into that routine when you feel like you're out there. Having 5 runs certainly helps Brandon Morrow. Throw a couple of pitches, and now everything is right where you're planning on throwing.
But you felt that way as a hitter, I'm sure, from time to time, when you take one good swing and you say, that's it. That's what I'm looking for right there. And you don't know when it's going to happen, but you got one good swing and you say, okay, that's what I have to do. And Morrow, of course, and most pitchers are the same way.
I guess it's like when you get a base hit, the next time up, you feel pretty good about yourself. You're more relaxed. Hey, I've already got one in the bank.
There's a base hit into right field. Thames over to cut it off, and Kennedy will stop at second. Kyle Seager with a 2-out single.
And for a pitcher, when you work a couple of innings, some 3 ups and 3 downs, and you start to feel good about yourself, you go out there and say, okay, I got it. Here's what I need to do.
It's all about repeating that delivery. The catcher, Josh Bard, walked in the second. This ball is trouble down the right side. That's a fair ball that goes all the way to the wall. 1 run is in. Kennedy scores. Right behind him, Seager's getting the wave. The Blue Jays missed 2 cutoff men, and the Mariners have gotten on the board. Josh Bard with a 2-run double with 2 outs down the right field line. Eric Thames airmailed 2 cutoff men, Hill and Lynn, and that allowed the second run to come in easily all the way from first.
Looked like he let up a little bit, like a changeup to Josh Bard, and that sped the bat up, and he hits it down the right field line. Eric Thames has a couple of choices here. He could try and get the runner at second base because it's Bard running, or he can hit the cutoff man, but he throws it over everybody. Don't know if they would have been able to get the runner at the plate. As an outfielder, just get the ball, hit the cutoff man. That's all you're asked to do.
Top of the order, Ichiro Suzuki. 2-0. It's sliced into the seats. Ichiro does that very well. That ball out away from him. He just has the ability to keep his hands back.
The body might be flying out. The legs might be on their way over to first base, but he keeps that bat back. And at the last minute, he can generate some power with that lower half gone.
Bouncing ball. Hill's got to come after it. Ichiro is out at first base. The Mariners are retired here in the 4th, but they get a couple of runs as Josh Bard delivers a 2-run, 2-out double. Eric Thames will lead things off. He got a big double down the third baseline that drove in 2 to put the Blue Jays up early.
On Rogers Sportsnet, brought to you by your local independently owned home hardware or home hardware building center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Fans, a reminder, Baseball Hall of Fame induction ceremony will take place on Sunday. The 2011 class of the Baseball Hall of Fame, Pat Gillick, Robbie Alomar, and former Expos broadcaster Dave Van Horn will be honored this Sunday afternoon in Cooperstown. Join Jamie Campbell, Greg Zahn, Arash Madani, and Shai Davidi as Sportsnet covers the Hall of Fame induction like never before. 1 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday on Sportsnet East, Ontario, West, and Pacific. One of the greatest days in Canadian baseball history. Pat Gillick, Robbie Alomar will go in because of their contributions to the Blue Jays' great organization. Alomar's spent 5 seasons. He called it the best time of his life with the Toronto Blue Jays. Pat Gillick was the architect of that trade that brought Alomar and Joe Carter from the San Diego Padres.
And a whole lot of other great moves.
A bunch of other great moves, but certainly on this Sunday, this trade is going to be talked about. Joe Carter and Robbie Alomar came together in a package for Tony Fernandez and Fred McGriff. There's a foul ball. How about the way that trade went down? Pat Gillick, Joe McIlvaine, then the GM of the San Diego Padres. McIlvaine wanted a left-handed power bat. Pat Gillick wanted a right-handed power bat. So they said, oh, what about Joe Carter for Fred McGriff? I said, yeah, that's pretty good. We'll do that. Geez, I need a shortstop. How about Tony Fernandez? Eric Thames drives it toward deep right center field. Gutierrez, wow, what a catch. He ran a mile to catch that ball, and he was shaded over in the gap in left center. Takes another extra base hit away from the Blue Jays.
2 plays in a row by Franklin Gutierrez in center field, taking away extra bases from the Blue Jays. First it was Escobar to end the 3rd inning, and now here Thames drives him all the way in front of that auxiliary scoreboard, and he reaches out and snags it. Watch how far Gutierrez has to go to get this ball. A full dead-out sprint to run that one down. Again, won the Gold Glove last year for the Mariners. Hasn't made an error in 242 consecutive games.
Jose Bautista. Jamie Wright into the ball game in relief of Jason Vargas. Vargas went just 3 innings. I mentioned Wright was the losing pitcher in last night's game. Jamie Wright's a valuable reliever.
Throws strikes, comes out of the bullpen now in his 13th big league season. Will get a lot of ground ball outs late in the game with that good movement. You see a good movement on his fastball.
All right, it's a big guy. He's got a lot of stamina, and he's had a lot of experience. He's made 246 major league starts in his career. And he issues the walk to Bautista. Jason Vargas had a couple of rough starts of late. 3 innings, 6 hits, 5 earned runs. He walked 5, 1 intentional. No strikeouts. That's the first time this season he made a start without recording a strikeout.
Shortest outing of the season for Jason Vargas. Biggest walk total in a start for Vargas. 5 walks, 1 intentional, 5 earned runs for the left-hander.
Adam Lynn looks at a running fastball. One thing the Blue Jays have done very well tonight, they've made the Mariners pitchers throw strikes.
Very patient at the plate. And they look like they're ready to hit, too. It's not like they're surprised by some of these pitches. They're just on them.
Bautista with a 1-out walk. He's camped at first. Blue Jays lead at 5-2. Bautista 176 walks over his last 2 seasons.
Incredible. And still has the production.
That was a good swing. Bautista has been on base more than anybody over that span of 2 years, except Miguel Cabrera. Well, you get on base, you're going to score runs, you can do a lot of things to help your team. There's so much talk about newfangled statistics, OPS, WAR, all of that. It's all about scoring runs. Get on base and score runs, drive them in and score them. That's how you determine who wins the game.
Times on base or total bases for sluggers like Bautista or Cabrera or Pujols. What are his hits producing? And you'll know that Bautista will be right up there at the top of the list.
Now this lineup gets more productive now with Edwin Encarnacion swinging the bat so well. Frustrating night for Eric Wedge. 7 walks now issued by the Mariners, and we were singing their praises. What a great pitching staff, but tonight the command has eluded them.
Starting rotation, 2nd in the American League in ERA, 1st in opponents' batting average, strikeouts, innings pitched, complete games, and opponents' on-base percentage. I mean, that's how good their pitching staff has been.
Encarnacion 2 for 2. Ground ball should be 2. Ryan to second. Ackley to first, followed by Kennedy. Ackley's throw handcuffed Kennedy. Encarnacion hustled down the line. That should have been a textbook double play.
Taylor made right at the shortstop. His momentum is going to the bag. He flips it to him. Adam Lynn right on top of Ackley at second. Here's the flip. Lynn comes in, but he just throws it into the dirt. Keeps the inning alive for Travis Snider. Let's see if he can make it hurt now.
Snyder's had a good night. Sac fly, RBI single. High, deep drive to right field. Ichiro back at the track, at the wall. Gone! 3-run home run for Travis Snider.
What a night for Snider. The sacrifice fly is first time up. The RBI single to center, and now the 3-run home run. We were talking a couple of innings ago about little mistakes that you make, and when things aren't going well, they come back to haunt you in a big way. Well, how about a 3-run home run after that botched double play attempt?
Should have been out of the inning. Mariners had a chance to get out of the inning. The ball in the dirt, the bobble by Adam Kennedy keeps the inning alive and gives Snider an opportunity, and he takes full advantage. Breaking ball hit Hill. The fans react because of the home run hit before, but Hill knew that was a breaking ball out of the hand of Jamie Wright.
Watch the spin of the ball. Hill does the right thing and just turning his back and taking it on his shoulder. But that's a breaking ball. One that just got out of the hand of Wright.
Travis Snider talking to his hitting coach, Dwayne Murphy. Snider's second 5 RBI game since his return from AAA. He also had 5 ribbies against the Indians back on the 8th of July.
His third time in his young career that he's had a 5 RBI game.
Rajay Davis base it up the middle. Aaron Hill will stop at second. How about that double play ball?
Oh boy.
Larry Rivera and I were talking about just exactly that this afternoon. Dustin Ackley's throw short hopped Adam Kennedy. They couldn't get out of the inning. Not only do the Mariners give up a 3-run home run, but now Wright's throwing more pitches. Has to stay out there and continue to work through this inning. Might cost him another inning or so and the ability to stay in this game.
This might be the only inning we see him now because he's got to throw more pitches and stay out there. And after playing 14 innings last night, you've got a short bullpen to begin with. They only carry 6 relievers because of the great starting pitching that they've had this year where they can go so deep. They only need to carry 6 relievers. We saw everybody from that bullpen last night.
Except Chris Ray and Brandon Leak. This ball is popped up into left field. Mike CARP calling for it. The Blue Jays are retired, but they add on 3 more runs, and Travis Snider has had some night. His 3rd home run of the season's a 3-run shot. He's driven in 5 here tonight. That ties his career high. Blue Jays leading 8-2. Now it's time for a connected update with Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn from the Blackberry Broadcast Studio. 6-2 lead in support of Brandon Morrow. Morrow is looking for his 5th straight win. He's enjoyed a stretch of 7 great starts, and he's been supported by Travis Snyder's 5 RBI night. Isn't baseball a beautiful thing?
That's what I like about that, what Travis Snyder has done tonight.
Last night he went 0 for 6 and struck out 4 times and looked like he had never seen a baseball.
And you can bounce right back the next day.
That's beautiful. Brendan Ryan starts things off, jumps on that first pitch he sees. It's a base hit. Ryan's had a good start to this series. That's his 4th hit in the first 2 games.
Also had a walk his first time up. He's played great defense also for Seattle.
So the second baseman, Dustin Ackley. He meant to point about when things are going bad, everything goes against you. And certainly Ackley's short throw from second base handcuffed the first baseman with 2 outs. They had a chance to get out of the inning, and wouldn't you know it, it cost him a 3-run homer.
Just like the pickoffs in last night's game, late in the game, that possibly could cost you. Especially with the winning run just 90 feet away. Those are the kind of things that happen when you're in one of the tailspins like they are in right now.
Ball is driven to left field, but Travis Snyder has a beat on it. Ackley's retired, 1 down here in the 5th. This is the first game that Brandon Morrow has pitched against his former team. He was a #1 pick of Seattle. He was dealt to the Mariners for Brandon League. League was a farmhand, came through the Blue Jays system, and League's enjoyed an awful lot of success in Seattle.
He certainly has. With the injury to Archma, the closer for the Seattle Mariners, League was the setup man. He has moved into that closer role and has become an all-star. Brandon League pitched in the all-star game this season. And I think if both teams would do it over again, they would make that trade.
And that's exactly the kind of trade you want, where it helps both ball clubs. And chances are down the road, because they have had a successful trade, you'll be able to reignite trade talks down the road somewhere.
Blue Jays get a young, big, strong, flame-throwing starter. Seattle was waffling back and forth. Is he a starter? Is he a closer? Is he a reliever? Blue Jays traded for him, said you're a starter, and he's really, for me, blossoming into a very good starter. The Seattle Mariners get a young, hard-throwing reliever that they turn into a closer, and he's an all-star.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you want when you make a trade, where both teams benefit. Morrow was back and forth, and it probably caused him problems. You mentioned how Seattle was waffling on how they were going to use Morrow. There goes the runner. Throw to second base is short of the mark. The tag is late. Ryan steals it. Smoke strikes out for a second time. The short hop throw caused Escobar to take his glove up, and by the time he came back down on the bag, Ryan had hit the bag.
Good jump, too. Slider down and in. Molina does everything he can to get that ball down there as quickly as possible. Second stolen base of the series for Brendan Ryan, his 8th on the season.
And now there are 2 down. Adam Kennedy, the first baseman. Kennedy was part of that great Angel team. He and Sean Figgins were teammates with the Angels back in 2002. And the Angels won the World Series, beat the Giants in Game 7.
Had a big playoff and World Series for the Angels.
Kennedy was the MVP of the ALCS. Had a 3-homer game in that series. Hits this ball to right field. Eric Thames on the run, makes the catch. That ball had a lot of top spin. It was sinking quickly, and Thames stayed with it and retires Kennedy to end the 5th. Brandon Morrow in line for the win. He leads by 6 after 5. Florida. Aaron Harang, the starter for the Padres, and Ricky Velasco for Florida. Florida just can't keep anything going as the Florida Marlins now have slipped to 3 games under 500. They're 13.5 back to the Phillies.
They miss Josh Johnson.
Boy, do they ever. How about that injury? That was supposed to be, well, we'll put him on the disabled list for 15 days and he'll be right back.
When he first got hurt, they said, day to day.
Yeah.
And they said, for precautionary reasons, we'll throw him on the DL, but he'll be fine.
Aaron Laffey is the new pitcher, and you were right on about that double play costing Jamie Wright the ability to go maybe at least 2 innings. Laffey pitched in the game last night. He only pitched to 1 batter. Big hop for the shortstop. Brendan Ryan gathers himself and throws out Escobar.
It's Canada's best-selling car 13 years in a row. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Eric Thames continues to impress in his first taste of big league baseball. He had a 2-run double in the second. Could have been a 3-run double had a fan not interfered with the baseball down the left field line.
Also led off last inning with a drive to right center field. Had a hit taken away from him.
Hits it hard. Adam Kennedy knocks it down, feeds it to Laffey at first, and Thames is retired. We'll be right back here tomorrow afternoon. It'll be an afternoon game. The game starts at 12:37 p.m. Blue Jays Mariners wrap up the 3-game series. It's Keep It Cool Day. The Blue Jays have announced they're going to keep the roof closed as the temperature is expected to be in the low 40s here tomorrow. Kids 14 and under will be able to run the bases after the game. Call the Blue Jays directly at 416-341-1234 for tickets. Log on to BlueJays.com. Or you can always stop by your Rogers Plus locations and pick up your tickets. So if you're a little hot downtown tomorrow, stop by Rogers Center. We'll have the big umbrella on the stadium and everything will be cool. With a bullet down the left field line. That's a fair ball up against the wall in the corner. Bautista is headed for second. Jose Bautista, his first hit of the night. He has walked, flied out, and now singled.
And he will pull within one of extra base hits in the American League. And when he hits, the Blue Jays win. Generally, 387 in their wins. He's had 20 of his 31 home runs in their wins. The on base plus slugging, 1.3. Means a lot. And that was a good sign that he got the head out on that pitch. Drove it into the left field corner for the extra bases.
He'll probably DH again tomorrow afternoon and then get back to third on Friday night against the Rangers. Adam Lynn takes the first pitch strike. Bautista certainly looks like that ankle's holding up for him, but I think John Farrell will give him one more game as the DH and then put him back at third on Friday night. There's a high fly ball. Mike CARP, the left fielder. Lynn's retired, and the Blue Jays will strand the base runner here in the fifth, but we have played 5 complete. It's all Blue Jays. Robbie Alomar will go into Cooperstown on Sunday. The top 5 plays of his career. This is number 4 in the 1992 Game 6 of the World Series.
The eventual game winners. Dave Winfield sends the ball down the left field line. Robbie Alomar comes all the way around from first to score the big run. That was a huge hit by Winfield on the road in Atlanta.
Sunday, the induction ceremonies will be covered by Rogers Sportsnet. It will all begin at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. John McDonald into the game defensively at shortstop.
Let me tell you how big that hit was, Buck. The feeling was, oh, we have to go back to Atlanta, and if we didn't win that game, I was afraid we weren't going to win Game 7. Really? You know how it is when you're Game 7 and you're on the road. You know how hard that is? It was like, let's go down there and finish this off in the first game. We were behind, and then Winfield with that base hit was the game winner.
Mike CARP off the end of the bat. John McDonald tested right out of the chute. You know, Escobar extended his game streak to 24 straight reaching base. And he had a bad knee last night. You can see him taking his wrist straps off. He has been told he has the rest of the night off. They'll go in and give that knee some attention. It's going to be a tough weekend series against the Rangers. Not only because they're so hot, but it is scorching hot in Arlington right now. So John Farrell took the opportunity to get his starting shortstop off the field for a while.
Not a bad idea. He was okay. He was lifted in last night's ball game. John Farrell was asked about that today before the game. He said he was okay. He was moved for other reasons than health. He's had the problems when he took that swing in last night's game. It was around his knee and not in his knee, the pain, so that's a good sign.
Rajay Davis came on as a pinch runner for Escobar in the 9th inning. Eventually stealed second, went to third on the air, but he was stranded. And the game went into extras. Franklin Gutierrez. One and two, one out. Gutierrez got a piece of that fastball upstairs at 96. And another thing we have seen with the growth of Brandon Morrow as a starter is there's no panic in his approach, even in the first inning. Bases loaded, nobody out. Looked like the Mariners were going to score first. He strikes out Smoke, gets Kennedy to pop up, and gets Mike CARP on a line drive to end the inning and strand the bases full.
And then starts to put together good innings. He had a 1-2-3 inning in the third. He gave up a scratch single in the fifth, a couple of base runners and a couple of runs in the fourth inning. So you just find that groove and then just start grinding it out.
Gutierrez laid off that tight slider. It's a full count. Late on the fastball at 94. That's strikeout number 6 for Brandon Morrow. Robbie Alomar, it's all about the Hall of Fame, and it's all about Robbie Alomar. Hall of Fame Day that'll take place Sunday, July 31st. Blue Jays take on the Texas Rangers. Come down early for a pregame ceremony. Robbie Alomar's number 12 will be retired in that ceremony. The first 20,000 fans will receive a Roberto Alomar Hall of Fame bobblehead. Call the Blue Jays directly at 416-341-1234. You can log on to BlueJays.com or stop by most Rogers Plus locations. So Robbie Alomar will go into the Baseball Hall of Fame as the first Blue Jays player to be honored. Kyle Seager with a base hit his last time up. He came in to score part of that 2-run fourth inning. Countdown to Cooperstown. We are highlighting the top 5 Robbie Alomar plays of his Blue Jays career. Spent 5 years here with the Blue Jays. Hot shot right to the second baseman. Seager's retired a 1-2-3 6th inning for Brandon Morrow. Morrow has sorted things out since a rocky first. Roberto Alomar going into the Hall of Fame this Sunday. Most talented performers. Auditions are being held in Vancouver, Edmonton, Winnipeg, Toronto, Montreal, and Halifax. Canada's Got Talent.com has all the date and location information. We're looking for acts of all ages. Sign up, show up. Canada's Got Talent looking for you. What can you do? Play a guitar?
I can play guitar.
Can you?
Sure.
Any good?
No.
You got talent.
I can play Stairway to Heaven, man.
That should get you on the show.
I can sing a little bit.
Really?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, not here.
Oh,
not
you
here.
need a stage?
No, I need my karaoke. I can do the karaoke now. Sure.
Okay, watch out. You're going to get yourself a guest appearance. There's a long, deep drive into center field. Home run, Edwin Encarnacion. He's got talent.
And when he is staying back on the ball like he is, good things are happening. Singled, a couple of stolen bases in the first inning, a double. Got aboard on a fielder's choice and now scores his 4th run of the night by driving himself in with this deep drive to center field. Home run number 7, and it's off windows in center field.
We have seen him get very streaky. He gets streaky hot.
He doesn't just produce singles. He produces extra base hits and long ones.
And you know, Ricky Romero's still taking credit for that first home run of the season. That came with his bat. Encarnacion used Ricky Romero's bat. Hit his first home run. And Romero says, see, I'm glad I got you started, Edwin. It took my bat to get you going.
And don't forget it.
And now you've got 7 taters. Ooh, he hit that one good, too. Travis Snyder's had a good night. And this has been a tough stretch of games for Seattle. Justin Vargas went just 3 innings. Gave up 5 runs on 6 hits. Travis Snyder grounds out to the second baseman. First down to the 6th. John Figgins consoling Jason Vargas. It's been a tough stretch for everybody. Hitters, pitchers, everybody. I don't care if you are pitching well and your ERA is good. If you're losing, that's no fun.
We kept saying to ourselves in the month of May and the month of June, look at Seattle. Look at Seattle. They kept creeping up the standings and getting closer and closer to Texas. And that's what's shocking about what has happened to them.
Aaron Hill hits it to center field, but Gutierrez is there. That's the second out of the inning.
Seattle with that great pitching staff. On July the 5th, they were just 2.5 games out of first place from the Texas Rangers. But since then, they've lost 10 in a row. The Rangers have won 10 in a row. Now they find themselves 12.5 back behind the Rangers.
And during that 12-game drop, they just haven't hit anything. They've been shut out 3 times. Texas shut them out twice in that 4-game sweep. Oakland shut them out. And it gets frustrating. You can change the lineups all you want.
It doesn't get any easier for them either.
Going from here to Boston and then New York. And then, just for good measure, after an off day back in Seattle, Tampa Bay will come to town for 3 days. That'll wrap up the month of July. And when you're not swinging the bats, you're facing Brandon Morrows all the time. There's a little base hit for Rajai Davis. Ichiro came in. The ball bounces over his head. Ichiro got fooled by the artificial turf, and that ball bounced right over his head. Second hit for Rajai Davis. He's been on base 3 times tonight.
There's only a couple of artificial surfaces anymore in the American League. And if you're not used to playing on it, things like this happen. Right over his head, it'll go for extra bases. His great speed runs it down. Or Davis is going to be on third base.
Davis just conceded he was going to get a single right there. And you can see he's a little disappointed because had he run to first base, he'd have ended up at third. 17th double of the season. That'll bring the number 9 hitter to the plate, Jose Molina. Molina's been on base twice tonight. Every starter in the lineup has been on base. Canel Escobar extended his consecutive games reaching base to 24 games. He had a walk in the second inning with the bases loaded. Thames had a 2-run double. Bautista has been on base 3 times. Lind has a single and walk. Encarnacion's been on base all 4 times and scored 4 runs. Travis Snyder's had a 5 RBI night with a home run. Hill walked and scored. He also was hit by a pitch. Davis has been on base 3 times, as has Jose Molina been on base twice. Good night offensively for John Farrell's ball club. 9 runs on 11 hits.
It can be a lot easier when you're playing in a game like this. You've got a couple of hits in the bank. You just don't feel that pressure when you go up to the plate. Feel nice and relaxed. You've got a big lead. You also have a couple of hits and RBIs.
Molina underneath Ackley's glove. They're going to stop Davis at third base. Ichiro got a good beat on him, made a strong throw. Ackley dove for that ball. Actually looked like he dove past the baseball. Ichiro with a good arm stops Davis at third.
Even though he had to come in and corral that ball, doesn't keep his feet moving. He got that great arm. It would have been close. 2 outs, you're running on anything. Right underneath the glove, and he's thinking about scoring, but Brian Butterfield knows Ichiro. And that would have been close.
Now, Butterfield initially had signaled for Davis to try to score and then saw the throw was on line and threw up the late stop sign. John McDonald with his first at bat of the night. Had the game winner in last night's game. First pitch swinging, base hit to left field. Here comes Davis in to score. And John McDonald picks up the RBI. It's 10-2 Blue Jays.
Johnny Mack getting the reputation of first ball, fastball, climbing all over it and pulling the ball. Lefty wants the ball away. It's inside, and he yanks it right past the third baseman, Seager, for the RBI 2-out hit.
Eric Thames waves at that first pitch breaking ball from the left-hander left. Ball on the strike. One and two. 2 on, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. 2 more runs for the Blue Jays. A long leadoff home run off the bat of Edwin Encarnacion. Edwin's had 3 hits tonight. He's scored 4 runs. Thames strikes out. That ends the 6th inning, but the Blue Jays add 2 more. Encarnacion with a big night at the plate. He leads the 6th off with a long home run off Windows Restaurant. Home run number 7 for the Blue Jays third baseman. how they're faring. Brett Laurie got his first taste of AAA ball since coming back from that broken wrist, broken hand. He went 0 for 7 in a doubleheader and had 5 strikeouts. He played third base in the first game and then was the DH. Kyle Drabek had a good outing in AAA.
5 hits, 5 runs, 5 walks. And Drabek in that game, 6-inning complete game because it was a doubleheader. Dustin McGowan, 2 1/3 innings, 4 strikeouts as a reliever. And he is coming close to the end of his rehab.
McGowan threw 97 miles an hour, but according to John Farrell, the command wasn't exactly as good as it had been. But again, another healthy, strong outing for Dustin McGowan. The rehab time for a pitcher in the minor leagues is 30 days. The Blue Jays have a couple of different options they can utilize at the end of that period. Bard rips this into right field. Travis Thames on the run makes a nice catch. First out of the 7th. So at the end, they can activate Dustin McGowan, bring him to the big leagues. He's out of options, and he hasn't pitched in 2 years. I doubt that's going to happen. They can put him back on a DL, give him some rest because it's been such a long battle to come back from several different injuries, and then maybe start him on another 30-day rehab assignment, just trying to build up his stamina.
And that would get him then into September. Rosters expand, and you could possibly see him the last month of the season.
Boy, well, that would be great to get him back healthy again. What a talented young man. Ichiro. Good by Lynn. What a play. Boy, as he played well at first base. That ball was hooking away from him, and he stayed with it to make a nice diving catch.
And hooking away from his glove side. He's got to go a little bit extra as he pulls that glove across his body and takes away extra base hits. Watch the umpire signal that that was a fair ball. If he doesn't make this play, it's 2, maybe 3 for Ichiro. But Adam Lind with a great play.
2 outs. Shortstop Brendan Ryan. Ryan's been on base. He walked and he is singled. He's also struck out tonight. Goes after the first pitch and slices it foul down the right side. Just another final note on the farm report. The Gulf Coast League Blue Jays have a shortstop named Dickie Thorne. And he was 2 for 3 with a run scored, 2 RBI, and hit his first professional home run. And Dickie Thorne is an interesting young man. His father, Dickie Thorne, played for the Astros and the Angels. Very talented shortstop. And young Dickie Thorne is about 6'2", plays shortstop.
And he fell a little bit in the draft last year because he was going to go to college, but the Blue Jays took a chance. I think they drafted him in the 7th round, gave him big money.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe he had a scholarship opportunity to go to Vanderbilt. A very good student, obviously, but he is a 5th round pick because everybody anticipated he was going to go to college. The Blue Jays got a good one in a later round. He's somebody to keep your eye on. Just in the Gulf Coast League. He's been bothered by injuries, and that's why he hasn't played an awful lot just yet. But boy, he's back on the field and hit his first professional home run.
He's the first rung of the Blue Jays minor league system in the Gulf Coast League, where they send the teenagers, the 16 to 17, the 18-year-old kids.
Line drive into center field, and Davis is not going to make a play. That ball sliced away from him, and Brendan Ryan's having some series. It's his 2nd double of the series, 2nd hit tonight.
Rajai Davis in center field is fooled by this ball from Ryan. He smokes it to center. Watch, he starts in and then back, and then realizes the ball is slicing away from him. Just can't catch up to it. It was hit too hard, and Ryan has been on base 3 more times tonight.
Dustin Ackley, he's 0 for 2 with a walk. We are in the 7th inning. Blue Jays lead it 10-2. And the Blue Jays have pounded on Mariner pitching here tonight. 10 runs on 13 hits, and they've hit 2 home runs. Ball is cut into the gap in left field. That's not going to be caught it all the way to the wall. Ryan comes around third. He'll score. Ackley delivers the RBI double.
Ackley looked like he's going to be a pretty good hitter. A 2-out double to left center field. He has recorded at least one hit now in 21 of his 26 games. Walked, pop out, a fly out, and now a double as Frank Francisco picks up a ball and is now just starting to get loose. Back-to-back doubles for the Mariners here in the 7th inning as they score their 3rd run.
Francisco was the only Blue Jays reliever not to pitch in last night's game. So Bruce Walton out to talk to Morrow. 106 pitches for the big right-hander. And they'd like to be able to get him through this inning. Pitch total for Morrow, the season high 117 pitches. That came 4 starts ago against Pittsburgh. Went 7 innings through 4 hit ball against the Pirates. Justin Smoke goes after that hard slider. Smoke was the first baseman in last night's game. He's the DH here tonight. Smoke's just 24 years old, but really this is his first opportunity to play every day. He had 348 bats last year between Texas and Seattle, but learning how to play every day is a challenge for young players.
Being able to play at the big league level, play it every day. He's a switch hitter. He's going to, I think, eventually develop some power in his swing where he'll hit 25 home runs. Getting everyday players in Seattle is tough. They're not going to sign as free agents because that ballpark is brutal on hitters. So you have to either trade for him or develop your own. Smoke came over in the trade from the Texas Rangers in the Cliff Lee deal.
And then they used a first-round pick to draft Dustin Ackley. And he came out of the 09 draft. So you have to be very creative and probably going to have to draft and develop your own hitters in that ballpark. Another slider. Morrow strikes out Smoke for a 3rd time tonight. 110th pitch of the night results in his 7th strikeout. Brandon Morrow K's Justin Smoke for a 3rd time. Enjoying those big comfy green chairs in the TD Comfort Zone are representatives of Junior Achievement of Central Ontario. The TD Comfort Zone, courtesy of TD. And they have been entertained to a Blue Jays breakout night with the bats. 10 runs on 13 hits. Greg Hallman is in right field, taking over defensively for Ichiro Suzuki. Jose Bautista. Jose's been walked twice, once intentionally. And he had the double back in the 5th inning.
That was off of Laffey, and it was a good sign because he was able to pull the ball last night against Pineda. Hit a couple of fly balls to right field. So the timing a little bit better tonight.
Fair ball. Gloved by Seager from his knees is in time, and Adam Kennedy did a good job going into foul ground to take that throw on one hop. With one out, let's check in with Jamie Campbell. The starter, Andrew Miller, gave up those 2 hits, and then the bullpen. Matt Albers, Daniel Bard, and Jonathan Papelbon through hitless relief and shut out the Orioles.
How about Jacoby Ellsbury?
Yeah.
15 home runs now.
What about a comeback player of the year? Missed the whole season a year ago. Had injuries.
All right. He goes to the top of the list in the American League. I was thinking of Lance Berkman, but he's over in the National.
Wrong league. Yeah.
Wrong league.
No, I agree with you with Berkman. Boy, he has really bounced back. Made the All-Star team, and as did Ellsbury. But Jacoby Ellsbury certainly the spark for that team. First time we saw the Red Sox back in April, he was hitting 9th. Long drive, center field. Adam Lind has gone deep again. Number 18 for Lind. 3rd home run of the night for the Blue Jays.
Also his 3rd home run off of a left-handed pitcher. That hasn't been a problem at all for Adam Lind. Over 300 this year versus the lefties. And when you can hit, it doesn't matter if you're left-handed or right-handed. Adam Lind can hit. 2nd home run in 2 nights. A beautiful swing. Got that uppercut. He's just getting ready to go down to Texas. He loves hitting in Texas.
Big night for Edwin Encarnacion. Needs a triple for a cycle. Homered in the 2nd. Doubled in the 3rd. He was singled in the 2nd. Doubled in the 3rd. And homered in the 6th. Looked like Adam Lind was packing up his bats for the night.
He has also scored 4 runs, which is a career high for Edwin.
And how about 2 stolen bases? Go ahead, hit the triple, Edwin.
They want to stay in on him. They don't want him to extend.
And Laffey gets it right where he wants it, down and in. Encarnacion and Snyder combined for 5 runs scored. They've driven in 6. And they have both homered. This time Encarnacion strikes out.
It's Canada's best-selling car 13 years in a row. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Jason Vargas, to his credit, still out here in the dugout with his teammates. He started and went 3 innings. Team is hanging together. It's been a rough stretch for Seattle, on the verge of losing their 11th straight game. Travis Snyder, driven in 5. That ties his career high. Against his hometown team. Pops this one out of play.
Way to come back. 4 strikeouts in last night's game. He did make a couple of nice plays defensively. But you always want to help the team with the bat. He has done that tonight. Blue Jays have only struck out 2 times all night.
Breaking ball is upstairs, 2-2. Bottom of the 7th inning. The Blue Jays have never trailed. Scored 4 in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd, 3 in the 4th. Full count. Blue Jays have had some big offensive games of late. Opening game of the Yankee series, 16 runs on 20 hits on Thursday. Snyder pops this one up down the left side. Brendan Ryan and foul John couldn't make the play. Kept slicing away from the Mariners shortstop. It took him into foul territory, and when he reached for it, he was beyond his reach.
Got a long way to go. He calls off the third baseman Kyle Seager, but just can't come up with it. Snyder has another shot at him.
Helpless feeling for a manager when you're in the midst of a long losing streak. Trying to figure out how you're going to get things turned around. 3-2, 2 outs. Travis Snyder bouncing ball towards second. Hackley just in time, and the Blue Jays are retired in the 7th, but they add another run. The 3rd home run of the night comes with 1 out off the bat of Adam Lind. A deep drive to right center. Home run number 18 for the Blue Jays first baseman. For his 7th win of the season, got out to a rocky start, but boy, did he straighten things out.
Had 3 walks in the first 2 innings, but then found that release point, and the strikeouts started piling up. It's a breaking ball that is deadly. That slider got a lot of the right-handed batters, even the lefties. 7 strikeouts for Morrow in 7 innings as he goes 7 for the 5th time this year. He's been charged for 3 earned runs, 3 walks, all those in the first 2 innings.
There's a long drive off the bat of Adam Kennedy, and that's a home run into the Mariners bullpen. Frank Francisco's first pitch coming out of the bullpen. Kennedy hits it into the pen. His 7th home run of the season.
First pitch, Hit me over fastball, and Adam Kennedy's ready for it. Gets that run back in a hurry with one swing.
Mike CARP going after the first pitch. Rips it into right. Mentioned Francisco was the only Blue Jays reliever not to work in the 14-inning game last night. Mike McCoy takes over defensively at third base as Adam Lind has come out of the game. And with that, Edwin Encarnacion goes from third base to first base. Lind, like Escobar, getting at least part of the game off. Adam Lind with a home run in the first inning last night and a long home run here in the seventh, heating up just ahead of the Texas series.
Yeah, the last time we were down there, he hit a slew of home runs in Texas. 20 career games. He's hit 10 home runs.
28 RBIs in those 20 games at Arlington. So we want to make sure he gets his rest before we go down to play the Rangers.
It's an early start tomorrow now, too. Not a bad idea.
Gutierrez with an 0-2 count. Fly ball left side. Snyder with a long run into foul ground makes the catch. We'll be right back here tomorrow for the series finale. It'll be an afternoon start. Ricky Romero will go to the mound. Blue Jays on Sportsnet. It'll start tomorrow at noon. That's the pregame show with Craig Zahn and Jamie Campbell, 9 a.m. Pacific time. Mariners and Blue Jays. Game 3 of this 3-game series. Ricky Romero will go up against Doug Fister.
You're always going to run into a good starter when you face the Seattle Mariners. Blue Jays will miss Felix Hernandez in this series. They still have one more series against the Mariners out in Seattle in August.
Blue Jays to Seattle August 15th, 16th, and 17th. Part of a West Coast swing. It'll also see them play 4 games against the Athletics.
And you'll get some good pitching from the A's also.
8th inning, 1 out. Frank Francisco in his first inning of work. Fastball up and away. Mention Kyle Seager, the third baseman. He too was a product of the 2009 draft. He was the 3rd round pick of the Mariners. At the end of the Doug Fister, the big right-hander, will go to the mound for Seattle. He's just 3-11. No run support whatsoever.
No.
He has a very good ERA at 3.18. He's one of those guys you look at and say, boy, this is a guy that's very interesting. Keeps everything down. Big, tall right-hander, pitches down in the zone. Francisco strikes out Seager.
Forget about that record. 11 losses. The guy's got good stuff. If you ever watch him on television, he's got movement on all of his pitches. You're right, he keeps the ball down. They have some starters for you.
Fister's 27 years old. He's 6'8". Creates a terrific downhill angle. Josh Bart getting to start here tonight. Miguel Olivo does most of the catching, and he's done a good job. He also hits in that cleanup spot when he's in the lineup. 0-2. Looked like that split finger pitch had stayed up in the zone. You could see Francisco trying to remind himself to finish that pitch and get it down in the zone.
That'll certainly help him to get that ball down. Francisco pitching much better of late. John Farrell is taking him out of the closer's role, and he's giving him as many innings as possible to find that good fastball. Last time out 4 days ago, an inning and a third against the Yankees, scoreless. There it is.
Made the adjustment, came back and threw a good splitter and gets the strikeout. He strikes out 2 to end the inning. Blue Jays lead it 11-4 here as they're prepared to hit the bottom of the 8th. Now it's time for a connected update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn from the Blackberry Broadcast Studio. Play of the game brought to you by Rogers. Hello, Speed Boost. Goodbye, waiting. Another first only from Rogers.
If the Mariners couldn't turn over a double play off the bat of Edwin Encarnacion, it kept the inning alive for Travis Snyder, and he delivers. 3-run home run to right center field. Snyder has driven in 5 runs. It's his 3rd home run of the season. And the big blow for the Blue Jays in that inning. Inning number 4 as they scored 3 runs.
Chris Ray will make his first appearance of the season. Ray appearing in his 26th game. He's been hit around a little bit. 29 hits in 26 2/3 innings. Aaron Hill fouls back the first pitch. Aaron Laffey gave Eric Wedge 3 innings. Ball is popped up and playable over in front of the Mariners dugout. Josh Bard stays with it. Laffey goes 3 innings, gives up 6 hits. Also charged with 3 runs. But the big number for Eric Wedge was 3 innings. He needed somebody to bridge the gap.
Yeah, when his starter could only go 3, he needed some stabilization, and he got it from Laffey. That's his career high coming out of the pen. In innings pitched, 3. 5th time that he has done that in his career. Now a chance for Ray. They signed him as a minor league free agent. And at one time, he was the closer for the Baltimore Orioles and had a big year. That was in 2007, saved 33 games for the Orioles.
He had Tommy John surgery, and he has recaptured the velocity, but he hasn't been able to maintain the consistency.
Went from Baltimore to Texas to San Francisco, and now with Seattle. And when he was right, when he had those big save years, he had a good hard fastball, came right after you, and he spun that slider. He also had a strikeout pitch that he would use.
1-2. Ground ball. Ackley near the bag at second. Davis is retired. 2 outs.
That strikeout pitch was the splitter, and it was hard.
You mentioned the Mariners carrying just 6 relievers. That's unusual in this day and age. Most teams have a minimum of 7. Blue Jays had 8 much of this year. First pitch slider. Jose Molina, another good night for Molina. A couple of hits. He's walked. Been on base 3 of the 4 times he's come to the plate. The bullpen, Laffey, Ray, Wright have all worked. David Pauly did a good job last night, as did Jeff Gray. Brandon League has yet to make an appearance in this series, and Molina strikes out. Chris Ray has a 1-2-3 8th inning. We'll go to the 9th. The Blue Jays are up by 7. Now for a preview of what's coming up on Connected, here's Brad Fay. Cool day tomorrow. The roof at Rogers Center will be closed as the temperatures forecast to be in the low 40s. So come on down to a nice, cool Rogers Center tomorrow. Blue Jays Mariners will wrap up this 3-game series. Kids 14 and under, they'll be allowed to run the bases after the game. For tickets, call Blue Jays at 416-341-1234. Log on to BlueJays.com. Or you can stop by most Rogers Plus locations. Now, I don't think a toque would be in order. It's not going to be that cool tomorrow. But the roof's going to be closed, and it's going to be a great atmosphere tomorrow at 12:37 p.m. That's the first pitch.
I guess he's already cool. Got his toque on.
New pitcher will be Octavio Dotel. He'll come on to work the 9th inning. Dotel pitched just a third of an inning in the game last night. He got Greg Hallman to line out and then turn things over to Mark Zebchinski.
And that's who he will face here to lead off the 9th inning. Hallman came in for Ichiro Suzuki in the 7th inning, taking over in right field. This is his first at bat of this game.
Hallman hit a 3-run home run in last night's game. Came in the 4-run 2nd inning. Mariners hit 2 home runs in the 2nd inning last night. That matched their previous total for the entire month of July. Tonight they've added another. That's popped up a mile high. Shallow right field. Hilda's back. Thames calls him off.
It's Canada's best-selling car 13 years in a row. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Warm night here at Rogers Center. And it's anticipated to be a very hot, muggy day tomorrow afternoon. Seattle will wrap things up here against the Blue Jays and then head to Boston for a 3-game series against the Red Sox. Brendan Ryan goes after the first pitch. He's on fire. That's his 3rd hit of the night, 6th hit of the series.
Can't figure out a way to get him out. Everything he has swung at, he has hit, and he has hit hard. A couple of singles and a double tonight, throwing a walk. Chris Chambliss, the hitting coach of Seattle, likes what he sees there. Fastball right down the middle, inside out swing by Ryan.
Dustin Ackley. Ball gets away from Molina, but no reason for Ryan to take a chance. They're down by 7. Ryan has raised his batting average 12 points in this series. Into the second half of the season, that's a big jump.
A lot of at-bats to be able to stay. You've done that in just a couple of.
This is trouble down the right field line. It's deep and it is gone into the second deck for Dustin Ackley. His 3rd big league home run. A 2-run shot into the seats here with 1 out in the 9th. Boy, that looked easy.
Easy swing. Those were the 2 batters that got them a run in the 7th inning. Back-to-back doubles by Ryan and Ackley, and now they're at it again. After a single, this nice, easy swing on the inner half. Plenty of pop. Watch where this one lands down the right field line.
Deep in the second deck. Justin Smoke 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts tonight. And Fabio Dotel got the first out. Lots of scouts traveling around baseball. Jerry Walker in the front, long-time scout. As the second out as Smoke goes 0 for 5. Howie Freeling also with the Phillies. He is always around the Blue Jays. That's one of his teams. And keeps a close eye on the entire organization.
Those are 2 teams that might be looking for some veteran relief help.
Philadelphia, they've been talking about possibility of adding some bullpen help. Adam Kennedy, line drive to left. Travis Snyder is there, and the Blue Jays have won it. Octavio Dotel closes things out here in the 9th. But it was all about the hitters tonight. Travis Snyder has a big night, 5 RBIs. Eric Thames drives in 2 with a double. Edwin Encarnacion had a big night. He was on base 4 times tonight, had 3 hits and a home run, number 7 for Encarnacion. The Blue Jays win it 11-7. Now it's time for a connected update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn.